This is the Tigers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Detroit Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Here we go. Welcome into a live Locked On Tigers postcast. I'm your host, Jake Rietma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Rietma. And my goodness, the Tigers are supposed to win every single game Tarik Skubal starts. Those are the rules. And unfortunately, the first two games of the 2025 campaign have not gone that way. Detroit falls to the Seattle Mariners in the final game of the three-game series. 3-2, Mariners win this one to avoid the sweep. Tigers now 2-4 on the early season. The Seattle Mariners now 3-4, and a little off day tomorrow before the home opener on Friday. This is your live post-game reaction show all season long. We got you covered on the Locked On Tigers channel, so make sure you subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. We would appreciate it. And tell a friend about it. Up next, we've got our review of Tarik Skubal's start and some costly mistakes. That's what we'll be talking about today. Colt Keith in particular. Sorry to make him the subject of that, but that's what the game calls for. And then, of course, we'll have our Talking About segment, Player of the Game, Turning Point, and more. And this is your home for all things Detroit Tigers in the post-game side. The Locked On Tigers postcast, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, on YouTube as well. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team each and every day. Want to give a shout out to all the viewers and watchers, listeners, whatever you want to call it, of Locked On Tigers that have found their way onto the postgame show. We appreciate that. And make sure you join us all season long. And for tonight on Locked On Sports Detroit, if you haven't yet subscribed to that, we've got a Locked On Pistons postcast after Pistons Thunder. But day game today, getaway day in Seattle at T-Mobile Park. I still want to say Safeco Field from time to time, but at T-Mobile Park. And it just had the makings of the way the first two games of this series had gone, putting the opposition in a hole early with big innings in the first inning in back-to-back games. You've got your ace on the mound going for the sweep. I know he shouldn't do this, and it's my fault as a viewer. I just sat down in my chair, got ready to watch the game, and just knew that the Tigers were going to find a way to win this one. And they made it really interesting in the ninth inning. In fact, let's start there, because down by one run, this gritty Tigers team, they never quit. Got to give them that credit. And what looked like all the makings for potentially not just a tying inning in that ninth inning, but even a big inning just fell by the wayside down the stretch. So if you look at the way that ninth inning started, I'm watching it thinking, all right, here we go. Got an opportunity here. You get the leadoff walk to Colt Keith, and then Justin Henry Malloy walks as well. Tough at bat for Sweeney, and I got to go back and watch it, but it really felt like, and I'm not sure if he was bunting on his own there in the first pitch or if that was a sign. I'm going to guess he was doing it on his own, but again, that's just a guess. But as he pulls the bunt back, he gets the called strike, and that seemed to take him out of his mental approach, just kind of out of sync all the way around, because then he's made quick work in striking from Moon, or striking out, and that was the at bat where Munoz kind of gets back into his rhythm, into his groove after walking the first two batters. Now, Dylan Dingler, and you like the approach he took, especially in a pinch hitting situation with the single to left. Now, this is where somebody, and it's hard, they didn't show a lot of replays of it. It's just a talking point for the post-game conversation. I don't think you can make the case that Colt Keith should have been more aggressive, because it was just that in between sinking line drive, no man's land, where he had to hold up between second and third. And so he's not able to score from second on the one out single, which loaded the bases then for, well, it was supposed to be Kreidler, but Javi Baez was the pinch hitter. And that was a predictable at bat for Javi Baez. He rolls over one to third, soft ground ball, and the play is made at home to retire Colt Keith, and the run is kept off the board. And then Zach McKinstry, just not a good at bat from him. He looked overmatched. But I go back to Munoz, the closer, kind of getting his and I think Benetti, as he always does, said it perfectly. He kind of recalibrated after getting that strikeout of Sweeney, and that put the big inning and even just scratching one across to tie the game to rest. So that being said, would love to hear your comments on a little day baseball. Tigers now 2-4 in the 6-game West Coast road trip to begin the season, swept by the Dodgers and take 2 of 3 from Seattle. But a sweep would have been nice going home at the 500 mark. But hey, it's very, very early, and we can keep telling ourselves that for a long time. And man, I'm excited to see the Tigers at home in the Old English D to open the season at Comerica Park on Friday, opening day in the D. There's nothing like it, truly, and you can compare it to any other opening day in all of Major League Baseball. Give me the Tigers opening day and the festivities, the block party outside of Comerica Park. There's so many great traditions with opening day at Comerica Park. I'm bummed I won't be able to be there this year. I've gone the last, I'm 32 years old. I've probably conservatively gone to 25 opening days. That's going to be my guess. But enough about that. We will talk about Tarik Skubal's start and Colt Keith's mistake, because I think they go hand in hand. But first, let's take some of your comments, because it's always great to check in with everybody that is tuning in to the Locked On Tigers postcast, which we appreciate. Braylon Dennis, I'm learning already in the early season, you like the all caps, the hot, fiery takes, which I can get on board with. Colt Keith screwed us over. More on that in a minute. McKinstry's 9th inning at bat was terrible. Indeed, he was overmatched. And I agree that, unfortunately, in a big spot like that with the bases loaded, you just got to find a way to have a better approach. And it's almost like Munoz, the closer for Seattle, and this might not even be fair to Zach, so I apologize, but it's like it was such a big moment. Munoz elevated his level of play in that moment, and McKinstry kind of crumbled in that moment, if we're being perfectly honest. But let's go to the Colt Keith mistake that allowed the inning to continue for the Seattle Mariners, because, can't talk. Make no mistake about it, that was the turning point of this game, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and make it our talking about segment, Colt Keith's mistake.
This is what you'll be talking about.
So Colt Keith allows the inning to continue, in which the Mariners scored 2 of their 3 runs. So bottom of the 2nd inning, it's a soft ground ball off the bat of Crawford, who's the number 9 hitter, mind you, and Colt Keith trying to get to second instead of just taking the out at first. And that, again, is what costs the Tigers and extended the inning. Now, the double, I also think, watching that back, Kreidler could have made the catch there. It looked like he got kind of in between his steps, wasn't really sure where the wall was. If we're being honest, Parker Meadows makes that catch, obviously. I think Wenzel Perez makes that catch, even though he doesn't play a lot of center field. Unfortunately, Kreidler's in that position because of the injuries, and he's not necessarily as effective of a center fielder as some of the other guys that you have that are unavailable due to the injury. But the double then scores Crawford and Moore as well, which, by the way, Moore was a menace for the Tigers today. I think you look at his box score, and what did he have? He had the 1 home run, he had the RBI as well, and then scored 2 runs. So a big day for Dylan Moore for Seattle. But enough about the Mariners. That mistake from Colt Keith, you got to find a way to get outs, and I think normally Tarik Skubal is a guy that can overcome that type of stuff and those types of mistakes. But it just seemed like and I hate to give Seattle a lot of credit, but especially because they weren't necessarily a good ball club this series, but they made the mistake hurt and really cost the Tigers by that inning being prolonged and ultimately scoring 2 runs in that inning, which propelled them to the victory here. So a bummer all the way around. And for Tarik Skubal, I mean, it's kind of shocking to look at his line and see 0-2 after back-to-back losses to begin the season, but 5 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He struck out 8 3 walks, but how about this? 23 swing and misses. He was one away from tying a career high in that category. And so there's no worrisome or no, doubt or anything amongst King Skubal and our King Tarik Skubal, because he'll be fine. He has been fine in his first 2 starts. The first start on opening day in LA, it was 1 pitch that got away. And here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, it was just it was a prolonged inning in which the Tigers could have been out had the right plays defensively been made. But we'll continue taking your comments. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'll have our turning point of the game, player of the game, and we will look ahead to the upcoming home series against the Chicago White Sox. Maybe the new and improved Chicago White Sox. I'll relax. It's early. Back in a moment on Locked On Tigers. Hey, this episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, well, you got to crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios, well, they're one of the highest protein nuts out there. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling longer. Great stuff there from Wonderful Pistachios. They are all about the better for you unsaturated fats. Listen, I'm watching the ball game like today, snacking on some pistachios. And if you love the no shells version, it's a perfect grab and go snack on those busy days. But I will tell you, some days I like the challenge of cracking open the shell, tossing kind of like peanuts at a ball game, But that being said, hey, I love the delicious, wonderful pistachios, and the Little Green Wonders pack a protein punch. So whether you're running between meetings or dropping off the kids, Wonderful Pistachios are the snack that works as hard as you do. So get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Get snacking, get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. This episode of the Locked On Tigers postcast is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Monarch Money. Listen up and listen good, my friends. Monarch Money. Every time you check your bank account, maybe sometimes you wonder, where did all my money go between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment? It's easy to lose track, but that's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. Now, I love the surprise insights. When I start using Monarch Money, you realize just how much you're spending on food or other things every single day, delivery charges, all that can add up. But with Monarch Money, you start taking control of your money. Managing your money with your partner is smoother than ever with Monarch Money. So you can track shared personal accounts. You can set goals together and stay on the same page without the stress. And oh, by the way, you have that accountability partner. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Tigers lose to the Seattle Mariners. And going back to the Colt Keith mistake, I think it's a good point here from Justin Bartz, which I should be fair. And that's the beauty of the live show. We can add in your comments as they show up on the ticker there. Now, I don't have a producer with me like I did at 97 on the ticket to filter through the ticket text. So just, kind of the gentleman's agreement. Keep it PG-13, and don't say anything too crazy because sometimes you click a comment. But that being said, Justin says, what do you expect from someone who gets told he's playing first base after only one or playing second base when they're like, you need to go back to second base. I say let him stay at second base and just let him get into a rhythm. Yeah, changing positions can be tough. With the emergence of Spencer Torkelson, you wonder if he'll find his way over to first base and play there more often than not. But yeah, it is a good point that Colt Keith's natural position is not at first base. Here from Greg Freaks saying Skubals has been leaving a lot of pitches over the plate. When he's gotten in trouble, I would agree with that. But I mean, 23 swing and misses, his stuff is obviously working. And even though I would classify today as a tough luck loss, there's no doubt about that. I like this comment from Shahib Tarani. Margot showed us he's clutch. Why didn't the skipper put him in at the end of the game? Yeah, I would have liked to see that instead of Javi Baez, if we're being honest with ourselves. Just feel like that. I mean, I'm probably not the one to ask because I just cannot stand Javi Baez, obviously, but a pinch hitter in that situation, Baez with a very predictable and pinch hitting's tough. It's not for the faint at heart. I mean, you're coming off the bench cold. You got to go in a big spot with the bases loaded. So I don't say that to be, pile it on Javi Baez, but I just wholeheartedly agree that I would like to see Margot up there. Demetrius McNeil says all Colt Keith has to do is hold on the ball. Otherwise, the game is scoreless. Top of the ninth inning, bases loaded, sacrifice fly, ties it up better. At least they win the series. Yeah, bouncing all over a little bit there. But, yeah, with the bases loaded like that and Javi Baez up, it's just such a rollover swing, pounding it into the infield grass over to the third base side. Just one time, I want to see Javi go with the pitch and serve it into right and try and get that run home. But it just doesn't look like he has the ability to do that. So disappointing all the way around. But like Demetrius said, Tigers do take 2 of 3 from Seattle. Now it's back home to face the surging Chicago White Sox. I believe they were rained out today. They were for sure in a delay. So I'm not sure if they've completed. No, they're back. They are playing, but they're trailing 6-0 to the Minnesota Twins. So if that score holds, Minnesota will be 2-4. The White Sox will be 2-4, and the Tigers are 2-4. So everybody, the old AL Central stumbling out of the gates a little bit. Cleveland's 2-4. The Royals are 2-4. So not losing any ground here early on. But let me know who's going to opening day. Would love to hear from you. Like I said in the opening of the show, opening day is one of the coolest days. The home opener. Just so many great memories going to opening day with my family over the years. The block parties. What spots are you hitting? Are you tailgating prior? What are some of your traditions? Would love to hear. Let me know in the comments. But we'll have a live Locked On Tigers postcast after that. When you look at the pitching matchup for the opening day matchup against the Chicago White Sox, with the Tigers having the off day tomorrow, it'll be Jack Flaherty on the bump for the Tigers in that one. Jonathan Cannon for the Chicago White Sox. So good pitching matchup there. Feel good about the Tigers' potential abilities to go out and get a sweep, because on Saturday, and sorry, once again. My goodness, we got to work on that. Bear with me as we work through that internet issue. I'm giving Charter a call right after this show because we can't have it. Come on, that's twice in a row. But right at the end there. So that being said, hey, Tigers lose to the Seattle Mariners 3-2, the final in this one. Tarik Skubal 0-2 on the season. Tigers fall to 2-4 overall. off day tomorrow. Enjoy it, and we will talk to you after the home opener. Have fun if you're going to the home opener. Get wild, get crazy, and get after it. Do what Tigers fans do best. Gritty Tigers. Looking forward to talking to everybody tomorrow. Not tomorrow, off day tomorrow. Friday after the Tigers game, but Locked On Pistons postcast tonight. Thanks so much. As always, my name is Jake Riepma. You can follow me on Twitter at Jake_Riepma. Go ahead and like today's video, share it with a friend as we continue to build our post-game audience. Talk to you next time on Locked On Tigers.